Here we go. Today is round 2 of another interview. But we have a new challenger in the mix. Miss Lenae Stacks joins All Viral Access Media. Let's listen to this latest interview. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming back here to the show today. Good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are, or good night, wherever you're listening to this show at. And you are listening to the most requested live streamer on this side of YouTube. Welcome back to another live stream of the Working Man Podcast, where reality checks are free. I am Nicholas J. Fury, and this is none other than the Working Man Podcast. Thank you very much. If you're here, thank you very much for attending another episode. Yes, indeed. I know some of y'all like, man, we back here with Lenae, with Champayne Queen and this whole thing about the mother and all that. Yes, we are, and there's a reason for it. Okay, before we get into this, some questions were asked. I saw this on my community tab. People were like, well, why are we not talking about Umar Johnson and FDMG? Now, we're not talking about Umar Johnson and FDMG for a few reasons. One, he has not gone live in a while to I guess inform everyone that he either A, has applied for the certificate of occupancy, or has not, or the city or the freaking the you know what I'm saying. He wasn't able to do it. Two, there is no evidence, or nobody has looked up lately the city records to see if he actually or has not filed. And I don't think that's public record yet, if he's actually filed for the certificate of occupancy or not. So that's why no one has gone, I guess, live with Umar in a while, except to cover stuff that they've already covered. So you understand all that stuff. A lot of you all have been in the sector for a little while. You know all the backstory of Umar Johnson. So you understand that eventually he will go live. I think he's now still on speaking tours. He's still posting on Instagram and all that. Eventually he will come out and he's going to say, A, yes, either he did apply for the certificate of occupancy and somehow the city turned him down, or B, he hasn't done it yet for whatever excuse, right? So there's that. All right. Now, yesterday, if you were joining me on the show, we reviewed 2 interviews, one from Storm Monroe, which was a little bit better audio quality and better format. But the first one was a video from All Access Media with I believe Mike Lowry or something like that. and he was interviewing Champayne Queen, which was the sister, and Mia, which was the woman in question that lately has been a caretaker of Umar Johnson's mother. She has received money from him for payment of taking care of his daughter, and she has had relations with Umar Johnson, much like Lenae Stacks. Okay, so that interview was like 4 days ago. Okay, now this interview in question today happened yesterday because Lenae was in the chat and she was saying that she was going to be on there and she was going to be interviewing Mia. Okay, well, what happened well, I'm not going to spoil it, but the interview happened and we are going to review it. All right, who is that? S Tavares 3257 says Infant Tuesday said he was going to the Breakfast Club on 3/18. I hope that he does, because we will definitely review that if he does. I really hope he does, because oh man, today's the 18th actually. So I guess any day now that probably will be coming out. We'll see. We will see. Now, let's see here. The Working Man Podcast. Who is that? Saint Center 13. Hey, Working Man Podcast in chat. Salute to you. Okay. But we're gonna review this interview. All right. And again, I will say, I guess, alleged. All right. Everything that happened with this woman, everything's alleged because some of these people have proof. They have text messages. They have payment, stubs on PayPal and everything else. But these women both have admitted that they had relations with Umar several occasions. They both admitted or revealed that they've been at his house. They've seen his mother. They've seen living conditions and things like that. Okay. So that's where we'll go with that. So without further ado, we're going to get into the reaction. Of course, before we do, if you are here, please hit the like button. We got 26,000 people in the chat already. Hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. All right. And if you want to further donate to the channel, if you want to further give monetary donation, you can do so by first, and I want to promote this heavily, all right? Hit the join button down below to become a member of the channel, okay? Shout out to Mon Chaos Brew yesterday. She became a member of the channel. Y'all hit that join button down below, become a member. I got members on the videos. Some of the stuff's old, but I want to create more new content for everybody, for members, so please join, become a member. I implore you. Also, you can hit the Cash App. It's pinned to the top of the live chat. Or you can hit the super chat. Y'all know how to get to all that stuff. Please and thank you. All right. Tavares, you just subbed. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. All right. All right. Thank you very much. Now, if you will, please, I need you to go down below and hit that join button, okay? Because
I'm gracious, but I'm not content.
No, we're not content over here. I need you to go down there, hit that join button, and hit that membership button. All right, go on and make that happen. But without further ado, let's get to what y'all all came here for. Okay, this was as of yesterday, streamed 17 hours ago. The shocking truth about Dr. Umar's mother, Tatiana, testifies. Siobhan Stone exposes everything. All right. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, no spoiler alert, this interview starts off very explosive, but it will simmer down eventually. This interview is 1 hour and 49 minutes. Okay, I got it on 1.5 speed. All right. And the more people come in the chat, the further we'll go. If it starts down, we'll shut it down early and we'll get out of here. Okay. So without further ado, off our access, let's get it.
I'm like, I'll mess up again. All right, man, we live.
By the way, fair use to all Viral Access Media. Fair use.
We're gonna wait for some of y'all to get up in here. Okay. Peace to everybody. All right. Please make sure y'all share this live. We're gonna get right to it, man. So this live was supposed to be with Mia. She was gonna come back. And it was going to be her and Siobhan, which is, Dr. Umar's, when we call it, ex-girlfriend?
Ex-friend.
Ex-girlfriend, ex-mother.
All that.
Nursing assistant.
Yeah, all of those things. And Mia kind of pulled out at the last second, and this is one of just going to be more interesting because her sister, Champayne Queen, she's going to.
Okay, before we continue, Money Boy Trey, you said check my DM. You sent something to me relevant to the topic. Reply in the chat. Let me know if you're talking to somebody in chat or you talking to me, sir. Thank you very much. Also, as y'all just heard, Mia, the individual, the young lady that was interviewed yesterday, pulled out of the interview at the last minute. So Champayne Queen here, her sister, is, I would say, in a sense, speaking for her, but also she's going to get some grievances out herself. And so now the interview is between Mike, Lenae, and Champayne Queen. Now I have a poll going up, all right? I want y'all to participate in the poll. Why did Mia back out of the interview? All right. The first answer is she was ducking accountability. The second answer is that she didn't feel a need for it. And the fourth answer is that she still wants the Shango stick. Now,
I keep telling you, consciousness over coochie.
all right.
Politics over punani.
Let's see. I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the chat. Okay, so far 43% said ducking accountability. Another 43% said there was no need for it. And 14% said she still wanted the Shango. All right, she wanted to shine the Shango. Let's continue on with the interview.
Really tell the truth on the experience, the things that Mia left out, if you will. So with that being said, we're gonna get right to it. I'm not even gonna hold you up. So now my questions that I have for Mia, I'm gonna revert them to her sister. So we're gonna start from there. So why did your sister pull out? We're gonna start from there. Why did she pull out of this conversation?
Well, she pulled out of the conversation because she felt it was going to be a tough one, and she was afraid of the questions and the comments that were going to be asked on the interview.
Now, shout out to Lenae Stacks, all right? Because Lenae, well, she went on Lynn Honor's channel, as most of you know. I think she went on KKC and went on some other people's. She went on a lot of different platforms to speak on this. And she willingly took all the arrows of people talking about her sexuality, talking about how she was doing this for clout, how she was, doing things for Umar, how she really wasn't looking after his mother, and all these kind of things, right? But Champayne Queen says that Mia backed out of the interview because she thought the questions were going to be hard. She thought that, that she was going to get negative comments, and yes, she was, all right? Because now that she's done the interview, now that we know a little about her background and why she dealt with Umar in the first place, people are going to have hard questions that should be answered. Because she said allegedly she came on the relationship or the working relationship or the, whatever friends and benefits thing worked until it didn't, okay? And she did it willingly just like Lenae and everybody else before them, okay? They worked great until something happened, either Umar's attitude or something was foul, and then, you know what I mean? But she was all giddy and goofy in the interview anyway, if you ask me. So yeah, people had questions. So hey, money boy, I'm gonna check my DM here in a second, y'all. Let's let this thing roll.
Now, would you expound on what kind of questions? What was she afraid of?
She was afraid that the questions that were asked or the comments that were going to be made was going to be hypocritical to the comments that she's already, or the testimony that she's already given.
Oh, no. Like I was on the driller.
Huh?
Did she think I was going to come on the driller?
Oh, no. She has this one set perspective of things, and it's just not the reality of what really happened.
I understand.
Right. Peace. Denise, I see you. People that saying, please do me a favor, just share that we on, please. I would gladly appreciate y'all. All right. So
salute, DJ. I see you.
So
salute.
She wasn't gonna drill her like she said, but what is it that you know for a fact that she's lying about? Expound on that.
Well, from my point of view, for me being on the phone with Tamia and for me being on FaceTime and talking to her throughout her whole employment, Tamia knew about a lot of the things that were going on in that home. The first time she got to that home, she knew the home was unsanitary. She knew that the mom was being subjected to unsanitary housing, the treatments that she was being subjected to. She knew the mom had bed sores, of course, because Umar can easily go online and just post up the timeline of when she was seen on the camera. And also Tasha K can verify that a lot of the things that she did was for profit. She put a lot of profit over people, and I won't say she's the only one who did so, because I also feel Siobhan did so as well. But let's get back to the story. Tamia knew that the lady was lacking the things that she needed, as in the medical treatments and the medical things that she's supposed to have, like the bedding she's supposed to have, the hospital bedding, or the lift that you lift if she has MS or dementia. She's supposed to have like a lift to lift her up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Money Boy Trey, I got that DM, man. I appreciate that. We might bring that up a little bit later. Thank you. Now, Champayne Queen is giving accountability to her sister, saying that she knew a lot of what was going on, and basically she let things happen to be with Umar Johnson. Now, she's going to continue on with this for maybe a few minutes or so, but then Lenae is going to start asking her some questions, and Champayne Queen is going to turn her accountability sword from her sister to Lenae herself. All right, so just pay attention.
Being alleged that if she has insurance, if Umar can prove.
And another thing is this interview, because this whole interview was supposed to be about Mia because she's the one that actually had the experience. Well, what happens is that, now we have to ask Champayne Queen questions and hopefully that she knows the answers from her conversation with her sister, right? So Champayne Queen, I don't think she was even in the house while the stuff was going on. So she's really just voicing her opinion, not really answering questions. And you'll be able to tell that as the interview goes on. She's not really answering questions. She's really just giving her opinions.
If Mark is saying that she has insurance and he's taking care of her, we're supposed to be able to see a lot of that in the video. When we go to the video, Tamia also stated that she does not have any medical, like anything prescribed to her medically. Like the things that I've seen on the table or in the recording, they also point to the fact that Umar is getting over-the-counter prescriptions and trying to prescribe or trying to diagnose her himself instead of taking her to the doctor. She also was not going outside. She's also lacking the exercise that she needed, because Siobhan also stated that she'll start yapping at the mouth when you start to wipe her because she has bed sores. And then she'll stand up and she can barely walk because you guys are not taking her outside. You're not giving her the exercise she needs. So it's hurting her back, it's hurting her legs, and she's cursing you all out like, hurry the fuck up, bitch, hurry up. And she's because it's hurting her.
So you agree, Siobhan, that's how his mother is?
Yeah, I'm gonna let her finish, but absolutely, Umar got his mouth from his mother.
All right, continue, T.
He definitely got his mouth from his mother, but his mother is also sitting in the same position. She's not like she's sitting in the same position. You're supposed to be rotating her around. And I'm pretty sure she's had these bed sores for years, because Siobhan spoke about her having them this year, and I'm pretty sure she had them prior too, because he was with an agency. She was speaking on her being with an agent, him being with an agency, and that shows signs of neglect, because Tamia was stating that he was getting a caregiving check for taking care of his mother. So if he's getting this check and he's hiring non-certified nurses, he's taking the cheap way out. You know what I'm saying? So he is neglecting his mother all around. And about Umar, she's saying that he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's a psychologist. He knows how to, mentally manipulate people and coerce people. If he can coerce and manipulate an older woman and a young girl into having sex with him, and then handling them into working and letting them basically ignore the facts that the mother needs the help, not motherfucking Umar. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show that, something is wrong here. Something is definitely wrong in this situation. And I started asking myself, I said, am I here for the mother, or am I here for my sister? And I am here for my sister. But it comes a time when you have to do the right thing. And I'm going to do the right thing every time. And I'm here for the mother. And I've been saying that from the beginning. When I told my sister that I was here for the mother and she didn't do anything, even Tasha K wasn't even there for the mother as much as I thought she would be. She brought the mother up to Siobhan about once or twice. She never, when it came down to my sister, she asked so many questions that she didn't get to ask Siobhan, and took the anger out on my sister. But in reality, no one asked for a well-being check. No, we don't know. We can't really clarify if a well-being check is being done. We can't say Siobhan was there when the well-being check was done. To me, it was there. No, all you can say is that Umar said, or the mother recounted having an experience. I'm so tired of these stories and y'all coming online and not doing anything about it. So I'm trying to figure out, are y'all dick-whipped? Are you being vindictive? Or is this really about the mother? But we already.
Now you see, she's again. Thank y'all in the chat for y'all pointing this out. All right, really, what's going on here is she's getting her opinion. She's getting her opinion. She has, I guess, some deep concern for the mother, which is fine. But you weren't there, so again, you're giving your opinion based on what your sister told you, what you heard Lenae Stacks say, and what you've seen from other interviews of Lenae going on other people like Tasha K and other platforms, and her getting grilled herself and answering questions on other platforms about Umar Johnson and her interaction with the mother and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, you weren't even there to have a strong opinion. And don't get me wrong, you might say, well, hey, Nick, you weren't there, and how you know about Umar and all this kind of stuff? Well,
yeah, bitch.
It's not the same thing, okay? Just let's go there. First of all, okay? Because I can see Umar Johnson talking all the time and see what he's doing and see the doing. Anyway, y'all get it, right? So Champayne Queen is giving her opinion about what happened, and she's gonna have a very strong opinion about Lenae Stacks here shortly.
Know what this is. It's about being dick whipped and not being able to get that dick. It's about not having access to that money.
And Just V, you know what? The sister is standing on principles about the mother, okay? And again, you know, I admire her concern for the mother, all right? However, you know, because you didn't experience this stuff, you know, maybe you shouldn't be so judgmental about people that were actually dealing with the situation, that are in on it. I mean, you can have a concern with the mother without, be finger wagging everybody that was in the situation. You know what I mean? What y'all think?
Money anymore to be able to walk all over her and not even report people getting lipo, people out here getting liposuction, people out here traveling the world, people out here eating good. But then again, you want to talk about she eating good too. The fuck you talking about she eating good? When you open it up, that refrigerator stuck. So Umar must be doing what? Ordering out. And if he ordering out, what he ordering out? Processed food? What the fuck? Bitch, that's a whole bunch of salt that lady don't even need. Umar, you need to let your mother go to paradise or go to a nursing home where she can live her life out in paradise. I'm pretty sure that'll be paradise for her rather than sit up in the same spot every day. Now, I feel like it's unethical and immoral for y'all to keep on coming online and not taking accountability for your own actions because you all were the caretakers. You all were supposed to be taking care of him. And Umar, if he's slow and autistic and you saw that he had problems, then you shouldn't have abandoned that mother when she needed y'all the most. We're in that.
Now.
Now y'all see, y'all heard that, right? Where is it?
Shots fired.
Now she said, look, y'all dumping on Umar, but y'all was supposed to be there taking care of the mother, and now she's in the back conditions. Y'all didn't get her out of there. All right? So pushback is coming.
Hold that thought.
Can I chime in here a little bit, Mike?
I just want to tell, because I already know you're gonna respond to that. I just want to tell the people, please.
You got to stay off the internet, sweetheart. I'm not a caretaker. That's one. That's not even my profession. And I don't want you to think I'm trying to be combative with you because this is something I'm very passionate with. So I've been in contact with the family. I have contacted people. This is known. I've talked to the head of PDA. So this isn't, I think you are picking up a lot of the narrative that's online. And the reason why I try to address those things, because I care very much about that woman. I was only in there. I did report it. I just didn't report it to the internet.
If it's not your profession, why did you take the job?
Because what the story that was given to me was that he had.
Lenae, how are you doing? Yeah. So y'all, this is where the interview starts to go sideways a little bit. Now, it's not gonna be like that the whole time, but for about another, 20, 30 minutes, well, yeah, maybe like another 20 minutes, this thing is gonna go off the rails a little bit. Mike's gonna be doing his best to reel it back in. But again, Champayne Queen is being a bit judgmental because she has a passion for the mother. Lenae is gonna try to explain that I was doing stuff behind the scenes too, but the interviews and the things that you saw on YouTube and on the internet is not a representation of the work that I actually tried to put in to make sure his mother was straight. Okay? Let's continue.
A service that was not taking care of his mother properly. He was in between finding another service. So the way Tanya, do you know who Tanya and Rochelle are?
I don't care who are they though, but what do they?
Okay, we can't have a conversation because we gotta be able. So Tanya and Rochelle, I'm gonna send you the text messages, Mike, so you can put them up. Tanya and Rochelle are from the agency. The way that this was pitched to me was that he needed help. He needed help with his mother. He needed somebody to come in that he could trust. And so I did that. I felt like it couldn't have been too hard because he lied to me about her condition.
But Siobhan, you didn't go.
Wait, hold on, because I let you. We weren't designed to be combative.
You're right.
We were designed to kind of get some things, worked out. So you're a little indoctrinated by the internet. And before you
continue, I'm not going to do too many interject. I'm going to let y'all go, but please be respectful with one another. And I did not know this conversation going to lead to where it at now. But as long as everybody be respectful, get what's off your chest out. But I did not expect this to go this way. But
yeah, this wasn't the tone that we were coming in on. We were trying to.
It's all good. Since we here addressing,
I know that you were trying to come in on a tone that was sincere and stuff, but the actions.
No, not unsincere. I came on a fact find.
I know what you're trying to say. That the things that you have done were not out of like, you know what I'm saying. You didn't mean to put this woman in harm.
No, I didn't put her in harm.
You didn't put her in harm, but okay, you're saying that you didn't put her in harm. But I just want to know why you didn't make a well-being check when you were there by yourself. And plus, I just want to add on that you had sex with Umar before you were hired. So you were hired off of lustful tendencies. But you go ahead.
And let her respond without over talking, please.
Yeah, and even if it has to be muted. So I did him a solid as a favor. I don't look at it like that, but you could take that way if you like. But once I came in, I chopped everything up to circumstantial. When I came in, he said that the nurses, and I have this via text, the nurses were doing this to his mother. He had to get rid of that service. And I was under the impression that everything had already been taken care of on his end. He was just needing someone to fill in between one, finding another person to come into care. Okay. So this wasn't on lustful tendencies because I didn't need to take that on myself. That was a lot. I did that as a favor, I thought, to someone who needed it.
Now, I just unmuted you. Hold on one second. But I will say this about Siobhan. She, from what I remember, she definitely, even after not messing with Umar, she was still going back there because she was worried about her mother. So she did go there off the strength of how the living conditions of his mother was. So she grew an emotional attachment to her at some point. So a lot of the times when she went back, it was due to the relationship and the living conditions.
My sister as well, but it still does not justify the actions that were implemented. When you I understand what you're saying, but I'm not saying that this is
again, this is going to keep going like this for a little while. Champayne talks over Lenae a bunch of times. I mean, this thing goes back and forth. They kind of talk over each other a little bit because Champayne has become very opinionated at this point. She's like, well, none of y'all did nothing. And at first it was like she would take accountability for her sister. And now she's going in on Lenae. And eventually they'll come to a common ground, but it takes a bit.
Because you are non-certified nurses, you all don't really know the regulations.
It's not a crime to take care of.
It's not a crime. I wouldn't say a crime. But if we were to use a crime as an example, you do not have to have the mindset. You don't have to say, oh, I want to commit this crime, or, oh, I feel this type of way. No, you can go into a crime blindly and not knowing that you're committing one. But when you commit one, you're negligently and you're recklessly committing.
What crime was committed, sweetie? What crime?
There's no crime. I don't know if you feel as though that there was a crime. I don't say that there was a crime, but I do feel like there was negligence committed.
Well, I've already been in contact.
But I can say that I have seen your story with Tasha K. I do want to ask you or break down
that's what it is.
A little bit. I just want to break it down just a little bit because I broke your whole story all the way down. And I feel like both your stories.
Before you go ahead, I'm going to.
So this is more about drilling me in front of everybody.
More so making you.
I got to mute both of y'all. I have to mute both of y'all. Hold on. Nobody can hear you anyway. I'm muting both of y'all. This is not where I wanted this conversation to go. But what I'm going to say is we didn't even finish about your sister. So this was supposed to be exposing your sister. I think that's the wrong word to expose your sister, but say the things that your sister was hiding from the public because she really threw herself at him. I don't want to even tell the people our off the record conversations because the shit that you're going to say, she's pretty much some of it she told me.
Yeah, so he's trying to steer the shit back on track here because they've gotten a hand. Check this out, y'all. The chat, please be respectful with your commentary and comments, all those kind of things. All right. I would ask to keep respectful in the chat. People have differences of opinion. That's okay. All right. Just keep it above board, please. Or we'll have to ask my moderator to put his infinity gauntlet on. Okay.
I knew she basically targeted Dr. Umar, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Just from the conversation we had before we even went live. But let's not, if you have questions for Siobhan, cool. Just be respectful and let's not just stay on this subject on her because this is not what this conversation is about. We're talking about your sister as well. All right. So, Siobhan, I'm going to ask you real quick. Do you want her to go over that list? Or
this is a bad look, Mike. I'm going to tell you right now. I thought this was going to be, and I get where you're coming from. But we did this on the strength of helping the situation. There's a different person. She's not the person that was directly in contact. Right. There's a lot of information that she can't answer. And then I don't want to be dealing with somebody that has been indoctrinated by internet, like comments and stuff. She's not. It's a different person. She's not the person that was directly in contact.
You muted. Hold on.
We're not having the same conversation.
She's still talking. Now, I did not know this live was going to go the way this is going, y'all. But I'm gonna try to redirect.
I know. I think you got flighted too. That's why I asked you to get to.
Right. I don't know. What we're gonna do right now is revert to the initial.
I think this was done on purpose.
We can go back to the initial question.
Let's go to your sister.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's continue with your sister.
Very weird.
And we have to be very cognitive of this is supposed to be a structured interview.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And we keep it that way. So now continue with your sister, and then you run out of it.
Okay. Because when I called you, okay, I told you that I was going to pick out both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you did tell me that you had questions for her as well, but I don't want this to lead to.
She's not asking questions. She's
right.
Making,
She has her own opinion about her sister's story and your story.
That's fine. I want her to ask questions. I don't care about her opinion, respectfully. I just want to know what questions.
I don't want to state an opinion. I just want to ask questions about interviews and the times that you guys were there and why reports were not done. That's just all. I don't want
the reports, and I'm trying to tell you, reports were done.
Okay.
The paramedics came. Did you know that? Did your sister know that the paramedics came?
They said that there was a well-being check done.
No, I'm not talking about a well-being. I called the paramedics.
I know. She said that someone came in and they checked her body and stuff like that.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. That's not correct. I called the paramedics. I left the door open with the light on, and I let the paramedics inside.
Okay.
Okay. So,
and why was
body cam footage? I'm sure.
I just want to know if the house is so filthy, and the paramedics were there, and you're saying that okay, if well-being checks were done, then why did you guys bring this online? And she was not removed from the home, and there's no problem with it. Because I know for a fact there are issues within the home.
But yeah, and you knew that before I got there.
And Champayne Queen is she's trying. I mean, does she really think that easy to remove a family member from somebody else's home where you're just supposed to be the caretaker? I mean, yeah, we get it. There were bad things going on. You've seen the videos. You've seen the conditions of his apartment, his place. But you can't just call the police or something and say, hey, she's being mistreated, take her out the home. There has to be investigations. There have to be home visits, which again, they said Umar Johnson doesn't let anybody in the house. So that's kind of hard to do because he doesn't have to let these people in, especially if he's there. He doesn't have to let these people in. It's not like a legal thing going on. It's just a check. Where he answers the door and says everything's cool, then you're gonna have to somehow escalate it or have him escalate it on his own somehow to make it to where it's an issue where law enforcement actually has to come in and put eyes on her. But until then, it's not that easy to just, oh, well, she's being done wrong, call the freaking police. Well, I mean, what are they going to do? If they crack the door open, they see she's there and she's sitting down watching TV, what are they going to do? Nothing. So Champayne Queen, I get it. She is, she's concerned, greatly concerned. That's cool. But, I mean, there's a process to have somebody removed from their home, especially if Umar Johnson is the caretaker, is his mom's legal caretaker, okay? It's not that simple. And if he does have people coming in there besides Lenae and Mia, if he has actual nurses coming in every so often to take care of her, you can't just have her removed like that. That's not how it works.
That's what I'm saying.
At the end of the day,
you knew that before I got there.
Who, me?
So you knew that it wasn't circumstantial.
You knew Umar before my sister.
What was going on? You knew why your sister was
Umar 2 years before my sister. My sister has known Umar for a year.
Okay, so sweetheart, then that's a problem. You need to be asking yourself these questions.
I really want to know.
This ain't looking good for you, baby girl.
We can do
You were
this.
with Umar for 2 years, right? And you were taking care of his mother from July, right, to June to July, and you didn't notice any conditions. You didn't make any reports doing that. When were the reports made? That's all I want to know.
I absolutely knew what was going on, but again, as I said earlier, I thought it was circumstantial. So
Okay,
I'm
so
thinking that this is due to a man traveling.
Let her
Have you
finish.
seen his schedule?
And Lenae's right. It is circumstantial. Like I just said, you can't just have somebody removed from the home like that. There's process to it. There's visits, there's social workers, there's law enforcement, there's reports. I mean, you can't just call up somebody and because you're so concerned, they're going to pull them out of there, right? This ain't CPS. This isn't, the police. I mean, I don't know what she thinks it is, but nah.
That,
I'm listening to lies from someone.
Siobhan.
I'm listening to lies from someone who is lying about what is happening.
No,
I didn't even know
I
you're.
look at the interview. I got this information from the interview.
Hold on. Again, see, you're trying to be fast, and I'm gonna say it again. Please be respectful, and then we are.
She can ask me anything she wants. Just listen.
Right, you have to listen. And then on top of that, y'all, we getting off subject on the main corporate of this fucking situation.
But I'm trying to make this work. So, and I don't have no problem answering any questions. So the time that I was there, Champayne, I was there under false pretenses. Absolutely, I saw the house. Absolutely, I talked to him. I told him, he told me I was catastrophizing. The first time that I was there, I was not there as long as what you think. But he told me that the problem was there because the nurses before me left everything like this. I said, okay, no problem. We can fix this. And I started a box. I don't know if you listen to my other interviews, but I said, hey, we're going to minimize you out. We're going to get rid of this stuff. I started a box. I started throwing things away. I started cleaning things up. Have you ever seen that fridge? I told him you could get a fridge. We could get a cheap fridge to put in here. I was under the impression that he didn't know how to fix the problem. And I came in there to rectify. He didn't want to fix it. He didn't want to change anything. So let me just say this, because a lot of people will weaponize aging against people instead of giving them first a chance to fix it on their own, that woman in the conditions that she was in, I attempted to help.
And before you respond, Champayne, then we have to understand that this man is bringing somebody who is oblivious to his household living situations.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're going to go off of what he's explaining, and it's going to take some time to really put wraps around exactly what the situation really is. You understand what I'm saying? So I can tell you anything. So he was leading people on. So we have to put all of those things in perspective, that he was playing games with every damn female that he had in his motherfucking house. Now, I'm not sticking up for anybody, but let's be fair on both sides. And once you finish this back and forth, we're going right back to your sister. So this is not going to be an interrogation. All right? So please respond and just be respectful when Siobhan responds to whatever you have to say right now. Please be respectful.
You never found any proof of the nurse aides being there. You never found any proof of any prescription bottles, did you?
I never saw, you're right, what you said about him feeding her supplements. I never saw any prescription drugs in there. And at the time, I did not research what MS was. I did actually tell him that his mother was sundowning. I even came out and told people she's sundowning. She might be sundowning. She might have dementia. He didn't want to hear that. I told him he needed to get her in to see a neurologist. He didn't want to hear it. He wouldn't listen to me. So I'm trying to coax somebody who has an ego bigger than me. I'm trying to coax him into doing the right thing before I have to take drastic measures on a man that can publicly come out and say anything he wanted to say about me, and it stick. And if you think I'm lying, look what he's doing now. It's sticking.
I just want to know.
Y'all can't hear her? Y'all can't hear the audio bad or something? What's going on? Y'all talk to me in the chat. Can y'all hear the video or no? Y'all can't hear me? Hold on.
Why did you start messing with Umar if you knew he couldn't even give you a diagnosis for your son? How would you think that he can diagnose his mother or treat his mother?
I didn't know that. When I first started dealing with Umar, I thought it was due to busyness, not the fact that he wasn't able to. And I felt like from the drive from this is the other thing, what most people skip right over. When I picked him up in Nebraska and I brought him back to Kansas City, the talk I had with him in the car, it wasn't even an option for him to diagnose my son, and he wasn't going to do that anyway. My son was already diagnosed. He couldn't be around my son. He wasn't the person for my son. So he never met my son, ever. He didn't even meet my son at the event. His daddy said no, it was no.
Now, how many
That's
more?
how it is co-parenting. I'm sorry if the dad says no and it's a male child. That's how I parent. Your daddy said no, it's no.
How many questions you have for her? Because we're not gonna make this a whole live on that. Just to get this.
If you want to ask me questions, you can ask me questions.
All right. Go ahead.
Do you know who Tanya and Rochelle are?
No, I'm not that deep into it.
Okay. Let me just ask you, do you know of any agency that came in here?
No, I don't know of any agency.
Do you know that do you know or remember of anyone coming and like literally laying eyes on his mother?
Nope, that's what I was asking my sister. No.
So they made the wellness checks. There should have been some that came. I know she was told not to answer the door. I'm not worried about that. But if she did witness them actually coming in the house and laying eyes on her, that was something that I wanted to ask her.
That's what I wanted to know as well. Like, why, if you guys didn't know that there was someone that laid eyes on her, how come you guys didn't make sure that there was someone who laid eyes on her?
I didn't know any of that until after me and him got into it and I came out.
Now,
after I came out, well, before I came out, I hotlined. Once I hotlined, I came out, but I didn't tell the public I hotlined because we wanted to catch him off guard. Actually, I hotlined him a few times. And then I talked to the head of the Department of PDA, and she told me.
All right, so we're going to see if we can fast forward the part where they actually start talking about the sister, because they're going to go back and forth, and, Lenae's going to be trying to defend herself and everything against Champayne Queen. So let me see if I can find a part where they start talking about her sister, because that's what I want to know about anyway, not Lenae.
No, it's
and
bad.
I didn't even work there.
I left out of there in tears every
I'm
time.
sticking up for her. And you're not here with me.
It's bad, Mike. Nobody wants to be married to nothing like that. You got to elevate your brain a little bit. We're talking about a woman's, if you can see that, how?
And y'all, if it's in America, if it's locally or whatever, and hand it to them.
She knows how the doors are. Them storm doors are heavy and they're thick. So we were like, why can't they just go in there and, kind of like the police won't go up in there and just they can't do it because he has rights.
I have to ask this question. Siobhan.
Yes, sir.
I got to ask this question. Now, I know it's not about clout chasing or listen to outsiders or whatever the case may be, but what I like to do is not address every comment that a person has, but just do what
you got to do. Run your show.
Well, set the record straight. So people so people feel like that if he was to text you, would you go back?
I'm in a relationship. The person I was on FaceTime with when I was taking care of his mother the last 2 times, me and you already talked about this.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
They know how the house look and everything. I'm not going. Come on, man. I would never go back to that ever.
Right.
My mama raised a better woman than that.
Let me ask you, T. Now,
I don't understand how people are like, he's this big celebrity and irresistible. Did you not just see this damn house?
They want to ask you. They want to ask people like, what did y'all find appealing and attracting about Umar Johnson?
I didn't find him appealing and attracting.
And
I think it was really the sex appeal. Like after you had sex with him, it was just all over the place. Couldn't think straight. That's my opinion. But
I feel in the way she's kind of right, not appeal. But I'm saying once I came out for 4 years being like on the porch, not celibate because that's tied more to it. I just decided I want to work on things. I want to focus. So when I came off, that was the person I laid with. I made that choice after investing 4 months and talking to him and everything. Once I met him the first time, I was like, fuck. He's a damn YN. I got to rock with. Because I had already laid down with him, I was like, well, I'm going to rock with it a little bit. But I'm not looking for a husband, no way. This is what's going through my mind. I'm like, I'm not looking for a husband, no way. I only come out here when I need to, kind of like get knocked off. And that's what it is.
For the
I go
slowies,
home, I can focus on the job and everything else. I'm not messing.
for the slowies in the back, what made you speak out? What was the specific moment that made you decide to speak publicly about your experience? Like, what was the final incident? Was it about his mother, or was it about how he treated you? What was that defining moment? Take us through those steps.
It was a
What made you-
collection of things. It was a collection of things. It was a collection of things. I can deal with how he treats, how he was treating me, but it was a collection of things. But the straw that broke the camel's back was the privacy thing. See, he's private. That's one of the things that kind of linked us. I'm very private. I don't care about what you find out. I just want you to know the proximity that you are to me. He's very private. His privacy is a little bit different. He invaded my privacy.
All right, we're going to fast forward a little bit because they're still talking about how they met or how her and Umar met. And y'all have heard about all of that before in previous live streams. So hold on one second.
You said what now?
For the non-certified nursing, you would have went to jail for what? Like $350. One time she got paid $750. Now I do remember for that payment, but specifically, I thought that was hush money, but I'm thinking that she stayed there for 2 days and then braided her hair or something for her and got $750. But some of that money may have been hush money.
And I'm glad you said something about the hush money. So why would it be hush money? Because he was having sex with a younger female. What's the hush money about? Or
No,
the hush?
the hush money was more so about his environment, his housing, the way he was subjecting his mother, the things that he was subjecting his mother to, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure he didn't want anyone telling his business.
I'll come back to you. Siobhan, did he pay you hourly, daily, or weekly? And did he try to pay you hush money as well? Siobhan?
No, he couldn't. No, I did. I did get paid. I got paid $1,200 every time I sat with her.
Damn. Okay. So was it?
Dang, she got paid $1,200? Sheesh. Oh man. Umar Johnson, see, that's where the donation money is going, everyone. He paid Lenae Stacks $1,200 every time they met. And he paid Mia what? She showed screenshots of PayPal's yesterday for like $300, $150 here and there, money like that. So, but again, he could pay other people that's actually licensed to do this instead of, and again, nothing against Lenae or Mia, but you could, if you got all this donation money coming in, you could hire like full-time caretakers to take care of your mother that's, from a certain organization or whatever company, and they're fully licensed and trained and everything like that. But again, you're trying to get your buddies or your relationship people to come in and freaking take care of your mother instead of getting somebody that's actually, you know what I mean?
Or a week? Like, what was that like?
And then I'm also missed days of work. I missed days of work for days that for him lying, like you say. He needed me on certain days. I put it in, at the time setter. I put it in my time in. And then it was like, oh, well, I'm going to have the other nurse keep her. And I was like, okay, cool, dope.
Right.
I just stopped getting emotionally involved because he was using it. When he found out I got attached to his mother, he was like, well, he was trying to use that to be a bargaining tool. I took sex off the table. I have the text message. I took that off the table. I was there for her only. And then something happened. He started getting vicious.
Yeah, that's what happened to my sister too.
So people think they saw some text messages in March. That was not the end of our relationship by any means.
What was the end?
I just did a video on that.
Expound on that. Since
it wasn't clear up till like June, July. June or July. It didn't stop at the text message. They think they put something together. And that's why I wanted the other girl here, because there are other women that are behind me that have had experience. I've never smelled them, but this other girl said that he smelled like boo-boo once. And I was like, damn, well, I didn't never smell him. But I did, I would be like, go jump in the shower before, you just came from the airport. Go get in the shower, whatever. But the other thing was they experienced things I never experienced. I wanted to ask her sister some questions because they feel like it's something because there's a bunch of text messages. I wanted to ask her about stonewalling, if he does the timeout thing with her. Like he'll put you in timeout. He won't block you.
So he put you in timeout?
Yeah.
What? Explain that.
If I do something wrong or he don't like, he'll put you in time.
No, that's just
you'll be texting yourself. And you won't know him because he does that. He gets so many text messages. Your text, you can text him something important. You have to keep texting for it to pop up and he'll see it. I know how his phone go off because he's been asleep with the phone on.
So all right. So to be specific, timeout is ignoring you, not just putting you in timeout like a little child.
You don't even know you being ignored. You just like he just ignored you. He did it to all of us women.
All right. So the question that you wanted to ask me,
you're blocked. You're like, okay, am I blocked? Do I need to set up a doctor's appointment? What are we doing? And then he'll pop back up on the scene like ain't nothing happened. He's weird. That dude he's weird.
Now, if do you want to ask T the questions you wanted to ask Mia? And then I want y'all to get into the psychology of him, far as schizophrenic, like real mean and bipolar antics. He have those moments where you don't know if he's gonna flip out or whatever. Can you expound on that?
Me?
I was yeah. Did your sister ever tell anything? Like mention any kind of bipolar?
Oh, yeah, she did. Like one time when she didn't come in the house and he was like, "Oh, you didn't give me a hug. You had to leave. You had to go." Stuff like that. Or like she'll say things like he was very demanding. Like when she wouldn't do things, like respond back to his text message. She wanted him to. He would say, "No, just stay the way I want you to stay," or just say yes, just stay like this. And she was just saying that he was like very like his reality was distorted, and that
Yep, and we'll tell you I'm sitting up here watching you on the camera and you're ignoring my calls, and I'm like, I'm not ignoring your call.
So he watches y'all on the camera. There's a camera in the crib, and he watches exactly what goes on inside the house.
Yeah, my sister would say she would see
a few cameras in.
She said she would see the light beeping when he would be watching her, so she'll know when he'll be watching. Yeah. Like, did you feed my mom this? Did you feed my mom that? Or did you give her enough water this, that? You didn't give enough water. But she was just saying, like, sometimes you can't force them to drink the water because, you know, you can only just hope they will. But, like, she was just, like, underneath a lot of stress because she lacked experience.
Right, and she's not a licensed caregiver anyway. So he just gave her a crash course to just...
By the way, 54,000 people have voted in the chat. 50% said ducking accountability. 22% said didn't feel the need for it, and 28% said she still wants the shotgun stick. Why did Mia back out of the interview? All right, there's 160,000 people in the box. All right, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button. Of course, hit the Cashapp, hit the super chat. Now I know this isn't this isn't a type of live where I got videos and all this kind of stuff to kind of substantiate points and stuff like that. I really just want to go through the interview because again, I thought there was a lot of back and forth in the beginning and people were trying to get their points off, and then at the end they start sharing their experiences and all this kind of stuff. So I really just want to go through it to it kind of solidifies a little bit how Umar is. I didn't really want to focus on the whole thing about Lenae's story, or what I really wanted to focus on was Mia, how she backed out of the interview, and how Champayne has this opinion about the situation, even though she really barely was there, if she was there at all, which I don't think she was. In the beginning, she said she wasn't there. So she has a strong opinion, but at the same time, based on what her sister told her, it further reinforces things that a lot of other people in the past have said about Umar Johnson and his living conditions and how he deals with his mother. Plus the video they showed yesterday that showed his living conditions, the stairs, the hallway, the living room. So this guy definitely lives foul by himself and with his mother. So that was the focus of this. We'll continue on a little while longer with this, but y'all get the gist of what's going on, right?
Hire all non-licensed caregiver because it seems to work.
Yeah, it seems to work like that. So
did your sister have a care plan, a meal plan, or anything like that?
No. Like for her? Oh, for her, yeah, she did.
Oh, for the mother?
Yeah, for the mother, yes.
I didn't get that. Did she get an emergency contact that she couldn't get in touch with him?
No.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy. Now,
them are the things I'm worried about.
Also, I know she was saying that he was living there, but Umar doesn't live there because every time Tamia would be there, he would say that he had somewhere to be for that week, or he was always in a hotel room. I just know he's not subjecting himself to staying there.
That's fucked up.
He's normally not there to even take care of his mother. This is why
his stuff is there.
Right, so he just come in when
probably shacked up with a chick or something, or at a hotel room. But that's fucked up, man. That's terrible.
It's crazy. Now, before we continue, and we're gonna end this
dirty shit, bro.
Because you said something about his mental state bipolarness. Give me some examples of what you mean by that. Siobhan.
He's out of shit. His shit don't fire in a row. Something's wrong with him. I asked him when he came from Atlanta after that wreck. I said, "Are you autistic?" I just asked him because I was starting to pick things up about him like he was like a robot. And I was just like, you're very different. You're real animated online. So people think they know who he is from online. He is nothing like that in person.
But I can't verify that he has nothing like him. You said you wanted to know if my sister ever smelled him. She was saying that his feet had fungus on it. And that it smelled.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So that's true too.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's true. But see, I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate. But y'all was loving on it though. So I don't want to make it seem like we just ganging up on Dr. Umar. I have to play. I have to look at it from both ends now. But y'all was loving on him.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, now they said, oh, well, he got stinky feet, but y'all was running stinky feet when y'all was getting the Shango stick.
Ain't no way.
Yes, he was.
Ain't no fucking way.
Yes. Now you gotta call that down the middle. Lenae and Mia was getting the Shango stick while they was smelling them funky feet, them Bigfoot feet, huh? Yeah, man. Of course, unfortunately, we won't get to ask Mia the same question we asked Lenae because Mia has backed out of the conversation. But, yeah.
Still texting, even though it still came around. We have to be fair across the board.
Well, he is manipulative.
Nobody is saying that. I got things about me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying that. All of that stuff is, when it comes to the major stuff, the good does not outweigh the bad.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Like they're focused on text. Like we're talking about bed sores. Like your mother,
I don't understand why y'all always want to talk about that. I know y'all want a little spicy stuff, but I think we spicy up enough.
My mind. You know the crazy shit that just came in my head. How is it? And no disrespect to the family. How is it that the internet is doing more or care more? Oh my God, how I'm gonna word this more than
that's
the family?
Because it's on view. It's on view. The family does things offline. This is stuff done online.
Because you never know how they really feel. They may not really even want to take this lady in, or they may not have been really taking care of her properly when they did have her. Because I believe my sister said he took her from out of the family's home. You know what I'm saying? Something about like that.
No, that's not true. He took her to his sisters. He took her to his sisters for a moment. He let the sister keep her for a moment, but this was years ago. He kicked them out of the house all over a hamburger. Kicked his brother and them out of the house and made them homeless because his mom wanted a hamburger. He didn't want her to have a hamburger.
I have a question. Remember when he mentioned having a nursing aide when you went out to dinner with him or something that you said he had to get back home because he had to get back to the nursing aide or something like that? Were you able to verify that nursing aide existed? Because I think that he may be just making this stuff up, like, saying, trying to extend time, saying that certain things are happening between times and blaming certain sores or certain treatments of his mother on different people, because I think he may be the one subjecting his mother to that treatment.
We know of one place that used to have the care, and I'm not going to announce it. We know of one agency that had the care, but we're going to work on that and look into that. Because here's the thing with all of this: if he's saying he gets paid to take care of her, so if she's not being taken care of, then that falls in a different category. You know what I'm saying? That money is not being used properly.
Right. And so what is it going towards? Is he overpaying his nurses?
Go ahead.
What is the money going towards? Because my sister said he doesn't even own anything, no assets.
She's seen it. Them African artifacts. That stuff costs bank.
But just to put
the Nike Air Maxes, all them damn Air Maxes and shit up in there. The hotels, the car rentals, overpay. He's in a.
Now I don't know how much them African artifacts cost. He always have in the background.
You sure about that?
They cost him how much they cost. I don't know. I mean, yeah. But even the Jordans I'm not the Jordan, but the Air Max and the jeans he got on all the time and the shirts, a lot of stuff gets donated to him, does it? I mean, I ain't never seen Umar Johnson in the store paying for no clothes. Hell, I ain't seen this man buy a pack of drawers. I mean, how does he keep clothes on his back? How does he, you know what I'm saying? Like toothpaste, like soap. Does he go to the store or does he have everything donated to him? I really wonder that because you never see this guy in a store buying anything. He never goes live like a Walmart, to buy some soap or some toilet paper or, some cleaning supplies. Said that one day when he was buying some cleaning supplies for fdmg, which I don't know if he actually bought that stuff or not, but I never see him actually buy anything for himself. You know what I mean? Does he actually get donated everything or everything off of school money? I wonder that.
emotional spender. So when he goes to the grocery store, he got like 5 bags of garlic, peeled garlic in there, and none of the stuff matches.
So
none of that stuff in that house for her to eat matches.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. Why?
By the way, we got 62,000 people voting in the chat. Why did Mia back out of the interview? 55% said dug accountability, 21% said didn't feel the need for it, and 24% said she still wants the Shango stick. Y'all make sure you vote in the poll. Continue to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. If you're in here and you're new here, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. And again, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat if you love the content. If you hate the content, hit the Cash App and tell me how much you hate the content. All right, hit the Super Chat, tell me how much you hate it. All right, thank you.
Around them, did you ever see?
And join the channel membership, all right?
Evidence of the donations that people sent like him for the school project, or hear him talk about the funds? Like, did he mention like plans that he had for the school? Because you see him spending a lot of money on a lot of this African little trinkets and charms and stuff like that. But was he ever speaking about his plans as far as the school is concerned?
Umar don't need to be in the school.
I never talked to him about the school because he didn't like talking about the school.
And those are signs, and that's what makes people question everything by being there that long. But now I do understand, as far as the mother is concerned, that she has to get out of there because he's literally like have his mother as a fucking prisoner. That's what I see. She's a prisoner.
If he could subject his mother to these treatments, why would they allow him around children?
That's what I'm saying. Do you think he's
because black people are? Because they rather pass the buck.
They blinded by
he shouldn't be around. If she was reaching out at 16 and he could see that didn't bother him and he could still lay with her, and she reached out at 16, that's a problem.
No, she didn't reach out at 16. She knew him. She knew of him when she was 16, but around she was 23, that's when she reached out, but not at 16.
Oh, okay. But now, I know that he tries to appeal to a younger audience.
And here's the thing: he appeals to women. That black women is God. He say the right things to some women, not all, but most women is they lack in the area.
You know what? A lot of them girls like him, and I know this.
I mean, that's how you get a lot of women, right? You know, black queens forever, snow bunnies never. You know, the black woman is God. You know, he's bright. Lately, he's been big up in Sukihana, talking about he wants her to have his baby and all that, which is all cap, right? But I mean, at the same time, it sounds good to the normie woman that doesn't know any better about Umar Johnson and how he scams and how he panders to women so that he can, get them to, as he said, suck the Shango.
Enemy spotted.
Yeah.
Hold on. A lot of women need that security. Some women need to hear certain things that they are not normally told by men. Some don't have a father figure. Some people they feel like there's no protection from black men. So when they see a man like that and he has the gab, it cracks open. It cracks open the womb. It opens their heart a little bit, and they will engage and be indoctrinated by that because it's a
but it's a lot of men that go hard for him too. I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of dudes that go hard. Them elders that put him in place and then they ran off and hid when they couldn't control him, when he was doing that shit with the UNIA. Yeah, that was a problem. That's not protecting him. You knew that's a predator. You should have got him and put a rope on his ass. But they let him go. They didn't care what he did because he was blowing up Pan-Africanism.
Yeah.
I think
they was letting him go.
I think
he was appealing to women. He is literally the man that was around him when he was younger. If you know his childhood history, then all of this shit makes sense. You put this in front of somebody who's a sociopath, he's mad.
Hey, sweet DJ, I'll catch you later. I do wonder the same thing. Why did he even go through the interview if Mia was going to be here? Because really this just turned into a big old conversation. It started out as a back and forth with Lenae and Champayne. Now it's just a conversation about his mother and all that. And again, I'm not going to let this run too much longer, but it was supposed to be an interview about Mia and about the stuff that she was going through and get more in detail in her story. All right. With, I guess, Lenae asking her own questions to kind of, back her up with her own story. But it turned into first an interrogation, what Mike said, interrogation. And then now they're having a kumbaya about Umar Johnson's mother. So, yeah.
And my sister says the same thing. He's a sociopath.
He is a sociopath.
I think young women are just.
And then let me tell you how bad it is. Let me tell you, they're sitting up there talking about, and look this up because I'm not lying. Anybody that is mean and hateful to animals, That's somebody that you need to watch. When he was yelling at that, he turned around and allegedly sued her.
I ain't gonna say it. She called her something.
The way that I got her to calm down, because I was like, we gonna count. By the time you hit 20, I'm gonna be done. And that's what we would do. And then she would count, but it would be an angry count. She was like 1, 2.
Yeah, it's because she was.
And then once you give her because I would always wipe her face and hands after I changed her, just like always, because I couldn't watch where her other hand.
Thank you, Isaiah. Let's ask. I'm gonna ask you this question, and you can expound. Siobhan, I'm gonna ask you, Champayne. Did your sister ever see anything even remotely close to him doing any kind of substance? Because people, we ask that question, is he, you know what I mean? Even Siobhan said something like you sent it to me, right?
Demolished. He just a nasty, he's a possum.
Damn.
So we're gonna wrap this up here, y'all. I hope that I haven't wasted you all's time, but I want y'all to see the back and forth between Lenae and this young lady. And I also wanted to show y'all, 2, how Mia backed out of the interview. And for 3, how Champayne, even though she wasn't there, has such a strong opinion. Now, I will leave all of you to debate and critique and criticize down in the comment section after I cut this live off. But y'all see what's going on here, right? And everybody in the comments has very strong opinions about a certain person. Hey, I ain't no dog in the fight about that. I will leave all of you, because I'm not on anybody's side, to be honest with you. Some people have covered some things up. Some people let some things happen. And hopefully, in the end, they are trying to rectify that and not take clout or more money off the situation, all right? Because Umar Johnson needs to be stopped regardless. His mother's in a bad state of affairs, and Umar is out of control, right? And that's the facts of the matter, okay? But y'all see it. Champayne Queen, Lenae Stacks, Michael's here trying to moderate, trying to keep things going. It got out of hand, but now they're all pretty much holding hands about his mother and all that. And it's gotten boring at this point, but y'all see what's going on, right? Of course, I'll leave a link to this video down in the comment section for y'all that want to break it down or want to watch it yourself without my commentary and speed through it and get all the points that you would like, okay? I thank everybody for participating in the poll and participating in the live chat and hitting the like button, okay? We're going to close the poll out. 63,000 people voted. Why did Mia back out of the interview? 56% said ducking accountability. 21% said didn't feel a need for it. And 24% said she still wants the Shango stick. I hope y'all got a little bit of value out of this. It wasn't the normal live stream that I do, but I still wanted to cover this for posterity purposes and a part of the ongoing Umar Johnson sector conversation, if you will, all right? So, thank you everybody for being here in the chat. I really do appreciate it, okay? And we're going to get out of here soon. Another live stream done in the Umar Johnson files. His mother is still in a shanty apartment somewhere in Wilmington, Delaware, not being taken care of properly, all right? Which is a damn shame, but maybe she'll get the help that she actually needs soon, right? So with that being said, thank you everyone for attending and participating in another live stream with your favorite, the most requested YouTuber, right? Thank you for coming to the Working Man Podcast, where reality checks are free. I am Nicholas J. Fury, and this is the Working Man Podcast. Of course, hit the like button on your way out. Hopefully you participate in the chat. If you're on the replay gang, hype the live stream, of course. You can send a super thanks in the comment section if you like. Hype it up, all those good things. And as I always like to end off, reality checks are free. See you next time.